If I was a 10 plus handicap, this is exactly what I would do to become a single digit handicap. See, most golfers fall into that category. They're greater than a 10 handicap. But what they're doing is all pretty similar and continuously getting crappy results. Let's be honest. As golfers, we love consuming information, consuming content, watching free tips and drills, hoping to get better, hoping that one of these is going to stick and get that breakthrough, right? Sound familiar? Look, you're not alone, but what I would tell you is the game plan to actually get the results that you're looking for to become a single digit handicap is actually pretty simple. First and foremost, I would tell you, step one is focusing on creating consistently solid contact in a swing that is halfway back to halfway through. Why? Because when you're working on a golf swing that's halfway back to halfway through, first off, all you have to do to complete that swing is turn a little bit more back and through, and now you've got a full swing. But when you break it down and make it a smaller swing, you can focus on all the details that really matter to produce consistently solid contact. What are those things that you're looking for to produce consistently solid contact? Well, I make it pretty simple. Do what tour players do. Do what the best do. It doesn't mean your golf swing has to look exactly like theirs, but there are foundational movements and patterns that happen in all tour player swings that we should build into our golf swing. What's one of them? At impact and into the follow through, they're getting their weight forward towards the target. See, higher handicappers have more weight on their trail foot at impact, which moves the low point back. If we want to be a good ball striker, we want to at least be 80-20 at impact and then eventually finishing approximately 100-0, weightless on that trail foot. Other things that I would look at is what is your arm structure just after impact? Because again, a high handicapper, I can tell you that their elbows are bent immediately after impact. But a tour player has two straight arms at this position in the follow through. So I would say that's a pretty important foundational pattern that we want to build into that golf swing. And then the third piece is again, halfway back to halfway through, face on view. I call it a centered pivot. So when you look at a golfer and they're pivoting halfway back, there is no significant head movement away from the target. There's also no significant hip movement away from the target. I call this head sway, hip sway. There's zero head sway, zero hip sway. So when you stay centered in that pivot, halfway back to halfway through, making swings, getting your weight over to your lead side with two straight arms in the follow through, now you're building foundational patterns into your golf swing that will enable you to be an efficient ball striker. So that was just step one. What's step two? This is the piece that I would argue 99% of golfers don't do and should do. Film your golf swing. Look, if you're practicing, putting in the effort, but you're not looking at your swing on video, you're completely relying on your feels as if they're real. And we've heard it all time and time again, feels are not real. Well, what we should do to fix that problem is take a look at the film to make sure we understand, okay, this feel is producing this motion. So then we can start to make connectivity between feels, what is real, what does it actually look like? Because what we're trying to do at the end of the day to upgrade our golf swing is change a pattern. And to change a pattern and to trust that your time and effort is worth it needs to be confirmed on video. Because when you see it and you're like, okay, I'm doing that right, I should continue to do that, you're more likely to show up and put in the work. That's just the reality. So, step two, film your golf swing. And then step number three, it's pretty simple. Focus on one thing at a time. I can't tell you how many tour players I've spoken to, and I asked them, when you were a junior and you were trying to get better at golf, what would you say was the theme to upgrading your golf swing? And it was always, Andrew, I focus on one thing at a time, and my golf coach wouldn't allow me to move forward until I mastered that one piece. Well, that is what you need to hear because it couldn't be more true. The biggest challenge that we all face right now is we used to just read golf tips and drills in magazines, but now there's YouTube, Instagram, you name it. You can see content anywhere and consume it and consume it and consume it to where you have information overload going on in your head and you're standing over your golf shot, not sure which swing tip or drill you're gonna pull out of the hat to hit in that given moment. Look, when you focus on one thing at a time, halfway back to halfway through, and you're videotaping your practice sessions, you're looking at the film, making sure that you're making the appropriate changes to make that centered pivot, get your weight forward to 2 straight arms. I can promise you, you'll become a better ball striker. You'll enjoy golf at a higher level. And at the end of the day, you're having more fun. So if you want to continue to learn with me, Coach Andrew Banner, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. But I'm here to help you become a more educated and independent golfer.